Hello my sweet friends and welcome to DIY with Nadia. I have Louis with me in his polka dot bow tie. Oh my goodness, you look so handsome. And I'm wearing my Where's Waldo shirt. And in today's video, we are doing a candy cane wreath, which I'm super excited about because I haven't done one in a very long time. And I decided to use the flower petal method. You'll see what I mean in just a second. Let's go over the supplies that we're going to use, starting with this beautiful roll of red Deco mesh that is 10 inches in width and 10 yards in length, or 30 feet. To make the bow for this wreath, I'm going to be using some leftover ribbon, 1.5 inch, 2.5 inch. Both are wired and they have some iridescence in them. This one in the stripe and this one is fully iridescent. So pretty. I'm also going to be using this 1-inch ribbon. It's not wired, but it's going to be perfect to wrap around the candy cane for that white stripe. For a pop of color, I'm going to be using these two beautiful white branches. And also for a little bit of green, I'm going to be using these mini pine picks. These come 6 in a pack from the Dollar Tree, along with some pipe cleaners. I'm going to get started with my pipe cleaners, folding them in half, cutting them, and then I'm going to fold them in a little V, just like that. This just helps me grab them and put them straight onto our little petal as I'm making them. For our beautiful Deco mesh, we're going to be cutting it into 10-inch strips. Since 10 yards is 360 inches, divide that by the 10-inch strips that we're going to make. That's going to give us 36 strips or 36 petals, and that is going to be perfect to make this candy cane wreath. And off I go, cutting all 36 strips. All the Deco mesh is cut up, and now it's time to make our petals. They're going to be super easy. All we're going to do is take our cut end and bring it together. Going about 1 inch to 1.5 inches from the edge, I'm bringing everything together. And just like that, we have a zero fray little petal. Grabbing my pipe cleaner, just putting it on, giving it 2 twists in the back. And then what I like to do is any fraying that you see, we're just going to give it a little snip. And there we have it, a sweet little no fray petal. Grabbing another one, I'm bringing together cut edge to cut edge, and then coming in about 1 inch to 1.5 inches from the edge, I'm bringing it together. Very simple, very easy. Now my pipe cleaner. Before I twist my pipe cleaner, I like to grab the actual petal in my hand. That way this is going to be nice and tight, and I know my petal is nice and secured and it's ready to be put on the wreath. A little haircut here, and there you go. There's our next petal. And now I'm going to continue making the rest of the petals. The petals are all done, and now it's time to attach them to our candy cane wreath form. The way I do this is with the wreath form upside down, so I just put the petal underneath and tie it. I'm going to be attaching the petals to the 2 middle rows. Grabbing my petal and just attaching right in the center. Give it a few twists and twist back. Just like this. As I'm attaching, I'm making sure that my petals are all facing the same way, and we're just going to overlap one on top of the other. So there's my first one, here's the second one, and off I go. I'm done with my first section, and in this section I only have 4 petals. And since the next 3 are the same size as our first one, I'm just going to put 4 in each. The first 4 sections are done. So 4 pieces in 4 sections is 16. We're going to put 4 more here. That's going to make it 20. And then the rest are going to go in here, which is another 16. Because of the way I want the petals to be at the end, I'm going to start on this side now and then go towards this way. If you're worried that it's going to look like it's going the wrong way, it's not, because as you can see, these petals, they're standing up. They're not really laying down. So as I complete this side, the rest is going to look just the same as the petals stand up. So on this side, the tail is going to go up and then we start attaching. As you can see, the petals are standing up already, except for the last one that's laying down. And now I'm just going to put 8 in each one of these, and this is going to total 36. I'm putting in my last petal, twisting in place, and now let's flip. And as you can see, you can't tell if it's going up or down. Everything is nice and straight. And now it's time to make the little white swirl. Grabbing my white ribbon, I'm going to start at the bottom and hot glue it in place first. A little bit of hot glue in the corner there. And then I'm slowly going to start wrapping. Now you can decide how narrow or how wide you want your strips to be. I'm liking this. When you have a few, take a moment and hot glue right on that edge. Just a little bit of hot glue so it stays in place. I think I like that. As I'm holding the ending in place, I'm going to hot glue all of these in place. Now it's time to hot glue the last piece. How cute is this candy cane so far? Now it's time to make the bow and put it right here. I'm putting 2 dowels right next to each other in the center of my bow maker, and I'm going to start with the 2.5 inch ribbon. I'm going to measure off about 7 inches, and I'm going to start twisting because this is a one-sided ribbon. On one side it's sparkly, on the other side it is not. Let's make big loops about 5.5 inches, and every time we go through the dowels we're going to twist. 5.5 inches. I have more of this ribbon, same thing. And all together, I'm going to make 4 loops using this ribbon. Now let's grab this really iridescent one. And it's so beautiful. This one is definitely one-sided, as you see. And we're going to just twist once again when we're going through the dowels. I'm going to make these a little smaller at about 4 inches. Going to make a little loop about 2 inches, and that'll be it for this one. This time I'm going to use a pipe cleaner to bring this bow together. I'm going to make sure that it's nice and tight. A few twists, and it's ready to go on our wreath. Right around there, just using my pipe cleaners, going around row 2 and 3, those center rows, twist my pipe cleaner in place. And the most important thing to remember is don't push the bow in too much, because then it's just going to get sunk in. Just attach it and it'll be fine. Now I'm going to work on my bow a little bit. The bow is fairly simple. 4 loops on each side and the double right in the center. And since we have 3 of the tails, I put the shorter tails on top and the longer tails at the bottom. Now I'm going to go around and make dovetails. The tails on the top, you want to make sure that they're not too long, because if they are, they have a chance of flopping down like this, but you can always give a pinch of hot glue to keep them in place. But I do like to keep them short. And then let's keep these guys long. I decided I don't want these too long, so I'm cutting them even shorter. Now that our bow is in place, I'm going to bring in the greenery. 2 of these are going to go on top along with 1 white, and same thing at the bottom. Starting with the mini pine picks, putting them in the deco mesh inside the petals, wiggling them in. This one's going to be just a little bit lower, and then the white branch is going to go behind the greenery in the back, and then we're going to use the little tails to cover things up here and there. We're going to do the same thing on top. Going to have one a little lower, the other one just a bit higher, and the white branch in the back. And of course, we're going to go in with the hot glue, just a little dot, just to make sure it's attached to the deco mesh, and the bottom one also. And just like that, we are all done, and I think it turned out absolutely beautiful. I hope you enjoyed the way this candy cane wreath turned out. Now don't forget to say hello to me in the comments below because I love chatting with you all. And don't forget to like, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and hit the little bell button. As for Louie and I, we're going to say bye, and we love you all. Say mwah, mwah. Bye guys. Someone hears Simba on the other side of the door. You want to go play with him?